and to subscribe to our plan that we have defined here, which is $18 per month for 100 hearts, we need to add plan inside our Stripe products catalog. Here we need to click on the products catalog and we create a product. We give it here a name, for example, Invoice hearts, and here we can add a description, Laravel Invoice hearts, and we need to give it also a price. In our case is $18 per month, and we add product. Okay, and our product is here. This is our product. We click on it, and here is our product. When you click here inside this three dots menu, so here we can copy the price ID. This price ID we will need it when the user subscribes to our plan. Next, what we need to do, we need now to create let's create a subscription controller. Okay, let's move to our terminal. Let's check here. So we need to create our subscription controller, PHP artisan make controller, and controller is subscription controller. Where is it? So here, controller, and let's hit enter. Controller has been created successfully. Let's move to our controllers. Here is our controller. Now we need to add first function. This one, what we'll do, it will subscribe the user to a plan. Subscribe the user to the plan. We need to add the public function checkout. And it will take the request, and inside what we have, first we need session, but before we do that we need to install a package. I forgot to install the package, and the package that we will use is Stripe PHP. So we use composer the require, and we need stripe /stripe -php, and we hit enter. While installing, let's add the content of our function. First we use session from Stripe, and we will import it later, and we create a new session. And inside we have the mode. The mode in our case is subscription lowercase. So the user is subscribing to a plan, and we need the customer email, and email we will get it from so we need to get it from the currently logged in user. We used auth user, and we get the email, which is the currently logged in user, this one that we have here. So we have his email. No need to send it using a form or anything else. Now we have the customer email, and we have the mode, which is subscription. Next we need to send the items, and here we have the line items, and line items is also an array, but be careful, it's an array, and we have another one inside. We have two arrays, and inside we have the price, and the price in our case here we need, as I told you, to paste the price ID that we have copied from here. Okay, so once you copy the price ID, you paste it here. Next, what we need quantity, and in our case we don't have quantity. Let's add one. Next, what we need success URL. So when subscription is done successfully, the user will be redirected to success route. In our case here, let's add success URL, and success URL we will add it later, and it will be, so we can use here the route, and it will be subscription dot success. So this is the name of the route that we will add, and we need to concatenate it with the session ID. Why? Because we need the session ID, and I will tell you later why we need session ID. So we add question mark and here the session ID, and session ID we can get it using the checkout like this, checkout session ID. Okay, so you need to use it like this, don't use it lowercase. Okay, so you need to use it uppercase like this. So this placeholder works like a variable that Stripe replaces with session ID, okay, when generated. So you need to use it like this, okay, don't change anything. And now we have our success URL, and we have our session. Let's check if the package has been installed. It's done. Let's now import the session from Stripe checkout session. So here, so I think we have something wrong here. Don't think so. So we have to close in here and close in price. So what is wrong here? So I think we have something missing. So I think everything is done. What is wrong? Why we have this red line here? We have here, we did not add closing for the single quotes. That's why we have the red line. Now the red line has disappeared. Okay, so once we created session, we need to redirect the user to the Stripe subscription form, and we use return redirect, and we add here the session, or we used session, and session has the URL, which is the URL that will take the user to the Stripe subscription form. Okay, now we need to handle success subscription. When subscription is done successfully, we need to add another function. Let's copy from here and paste here, and here we can add the handle the successful subscription, and let's change the name to success. You need to name it success, okay, don't name it anything else. First we used session, or we defined session, and we use now the session from Stripe, and we retrieve, so we need to retrieve the subscription that we have added. So we need to retrieve it using this session ID, and session ID will be inside URL. So here retrieve will take an array, and we need the ID, which is, as I told you, the session ID, and to get it you need to use the request, and the request has the query, and using the request query we can get the session ID from the URL. So the user, as I told you, when he subscribes, we will be redirected to success page, and here we will have session ID inside our URL, so we get it using the request query. And once we have the ID, what we need also to use something which is expand. So why we need to expand? To get the whole subscription. Okay, subscription has like we have so what we have added inside our table. That's why we have the subscriptions table. Subscription will have an ID, customer ID, price ID, status, current period, and here when the user cancels the subscription, and here we have the user ID. So this subscription will have all of these fields. That's why we are using here expand to get everything. And we add here subscription, And as I told you, we have here the array. The first key is subscription, and second, let's copy this one from here. We give it subscription dot latest underscore invoice. And as I told you, this expand that we have here gets the whole subscription. Okay, all the details about the subscription. That's the meaning of this line. Now what we need to do, we have the subscription, not subscription, we have the session, and session has the subscription. Let's define here sub variable and get the session or get the subscription from the session subscription, which is the subscription of the user. Next, we need to guess the item. The item has the price and also has the current period, has the price ID and has the current period end. Okay, so to get the item we need to use sub that we have defined here, which is the subscription, and the item or the subscription has the items and items has the data, and we need to get the first index, which is 0. Okay, so here we have the item, and next what we need to do, we need to store the subscription inside our table that we have added here. So let's use subscription, and we need to import it from our, let's check from our models, and we create subscription. And here what we need inside our, so we need these fields that we have here. So we need subscription ID and subscription ID. We can get it from which is the, so the subscription ID is sub ID that we have defined, which is the sub ID. So we add it here, and we need also the user ID. Let's see, so we need customer ID, price ID, status, the user ID. Okay, let's do something. Copy, paste. Or let's do something else. Let's copy and paste a lot of fields. Next, what we need, let's move to the next customer or Stripe customer ID. And Stripe customer ID, we can get it now from the session, not from the sub. So from the session has the customer. Okay. What else we need? We need Stripe price ID, copy, paste here. And Stripe price ID, we can get it from, as I told you, the item that we have added here. The item has the price, and the price has the ID. So let's use here price, and the price has the ID. Okay. Next, what we need status. Let's move here. We have status. Let's copy and paste here, and subscription has status. What else we need? We need current period and, which is the end of the subscription, which is date, and we need to get it now from the item that has the current subscription. So not here, but here, item. The item that has the current period, and we need finally the user ID. User. Let's go back here. We need the user ID. So here the cancel at will be when the user cancels a subscription, but in our case, we will remove the subscription once cancelled. If you want to keep it, you can use this field, and when subscription is cancelled, you can update this field and give it the current time. We will see that in action soon. So we need the user ID, and the user ID we can get it from the author user ID. Okay. And that's also, we don't need this field. Let's do final check before we move. So we created subscriptions. This is the model that we have added there. And subscription has a Stripe subscription ID. We get it from sub ID that we have defined here. We have Stripe customer ID. We get it from the session customer. Stripe price ID. We get it from the item price ID. Status from the sub status current period and from the item current period and finally we have the user ID. Okay. Now what we need to do now, the user has subscribed successfully and we have started subscription. We need to update the user. Next, available at. So we need to use null and use sub hours. So we'll sub the hours from now and we sub 1 hour, and once we sub an hour from the current date and time, so it will be less than now. And when we check inside our invoice controller that now is less than the next available at, it will be false. So the user will automatically access upload the page. And finally we set the user hearts. So here let's set the user hearts to 100 as I said, and we save the user. So we call save method. Let's add here save, and finally we return redirect the user to the home page. Let's go to our invoice controller. Let's see here. So we don't have, so here is the return. Let's copy from here and paste here. And here we return or direct the user to the home page with the message. Let's tell him subscription done successfully. Okay, and we are done, and we will add later the function so the user can cancel the subscription. So now what we need to do, we need to add the route, which is its success or subscription success route, and also the page that will display the success message for our user when subscription is done successfully. Okay, so let's do that now.